If it's in the box, it's safe. If it's outside of the box, it will not be cut. Anyways, I will show you how I make labels and how I use Cricut to cut it. Welcome to UD Naturals. It is time to make your labels. If you're like me, I'm trying to do everything at home by myself, everything. Wear many hats. So anyways, I will show you how I make labels and how I use Cricut to cut it, because I have spent so much time cutting everything by hand and it takes hours, and sometimes it's like I might as well watch a movie and do this at the same time. So anyways, without further ado, let's pass those days of cutting and let's use Cricut. And it's not sponsored, but I just love using it because it's saved so much time. What I do is I use like a fabric ruler, and I just stole it from my mom because she does a lot of like sewing and stuff. But you can use a normal ruler and just kind of ballpoint where you think you'd want your label to be. And then use whatever favorite graphic designer website you use. I'm really familiar with Canva, so that's what I've been using. And I honestly use the free version, so I have no complaints. I'm sure you can use a pro if you need to, but I've been fine and dandy with just using the regular one. Pick your label, and then when you're saving it, you need to save it as anything that's shareable, so a JPEG, a PNG. And then Cricut's kind of weird, and if you try to do multiple at a time, it won't save correctly. It'll turn into a zip file, and you don't want a zip file because Cricut can't read that. So you actually have to you have to save each like label one at a time. So for me, I have 6 labels and I had to save each one individually, not as a group, so Cricut can read it. And then next we go into Cricut. So when you go into Cricut, you go to New Project and you go to Blank Canvas. And then from there, it'll open up a blank canvas. And this is where you get ready to upload your pictures that you just saved from Canva. And so what you do is you go to the far left. On your far left bottom, it'll show an upload area. And so you upload, click that, and then click Upload Image. And then you can browse and you can find whatever image you want to upload. And once again, you have to upload it one at a time, not as a group. So you just click one and then hit continue. And then I kind of just ignore this part. And then I hit flat graphics specifically because it's for print, then cut. All right, so now I'm uploaded it. Now I want to save it so I can refer back to it if I need to, and then I will put it into the folder that I want it in. Now I have to upload all the other labels, so now I have to do that 6 times. Well, now I have to do it 5 more other times. Alright, so now that I have all 6 labels here, I now need to make it to size, the same size that you ballparked earlier. So I want it that you want to adjust the sizing. Go to the top where it says size, and you click the lock button to unlock it, and then you change it to whatever size you want to change it to. And then when you're done, just remember to lock it. This makes it so when you grab it, you don't accidentally change the size. And just make sure that you do unlock it, because if you do keep it locked and you write in a number, it's going to make it squared. So it would be like if you have 2 inches by width, then it'll match 2 width or 2 inches of height. So it'll make it exactly the same when it's squared, or when the thing is locked, when the lock is locked, whatever. Anyways, so make sure it's unlocked before you change it, and then make sure you lock it when you're done. Unless your stuff is totally squared and you're doing like a 2x2, a 3x3, whatever your label is, easy. But if you're not, make sure you unlock it. All right, so now you need to go to the shapes page, and you need to click on a square, and then you need to go over and unlock the sizing and make it the width 6.75, and make your height 9.25. Make sure you lock it. This is your guide to knowing basically what is your safe space for your Cricut. So when you use your Cricut, it's going to cut the paper, but it has to be within the Cricut like allowable area for the Cricut to actually cut. And if it's outside of this, then it will not cut it. If it's in the box, it's safe. If it's outside of the box, it will not be cut. So you get your square, and you see that if you try to put your labels on top, it won't show it because your black square that you just made is layered to the very top. So what you need to do is you need to go over to Arrange, and then you click on Show, then you click on Send to Back, and then when you send it back, now you can move your label around and it won't be hiding behind this black square. And so now I put my labels on top of the black square, and I can see that 4 of them can safely be cut. And now I'm moving the black square over because I have 6 labels total that I need to do 2 more to move over, but really I need 4 more because I don't want to waste sticker paper. So I'm just going to double up 2 other labels. But anyways, so now that I have basically like 2 mats that are ready to be printed off, you can delete the back black square as soon as you're done with everything. And then the next step is to highlight whatever you want on your mat. So I have 2 mats, so I'm highlighting 1 mat, and then I'm going to go over to attach, and then I can move that as a whole, and that will be 1 mat. And then I just do the same to the other mat, and I attach it, and then I'm able to have that separate. Alright, so now I want to make this. So what I do is I go over to Make, and I want to save this. And then it takes you to this page where it kind of shows you what it looks like on a Cricut mat. And if you see, it says print then cut onto the side of what your preview is. So just as a reminder, you're printing first and then you're cutting. So when you first use your Cricut, it's actually going to give you this calibration form that you have to print off. I didn't get a video of it from the very beginning, so I'm showing you that there is a calibration part in the beginning, and it does this thing where it gives you different lines on the top and different lines along the side, and a big square and a small square within the bigger square, and then a really small square. And it basically shows you how the cuts are accurate or not. So as soon as they do that, then you can go over to our normal loading cutting of whatever you're going to use. But I just wanted to let you know that that does happen in the beginning for you to calibrate. I'm going to show you what I'm printing on. I just have this sticker paper that I got, and just make sure it's compatible with whatever printer you have. Anyways, now I'm taking it out, and there's obviously 2 sides of your sticker paper, so just try to figure out which side that is safely. And then I load it up in my printer. And then also I did a test earlier to make sure that my paper was going to print on the right side of the sticker. So you need to know what side your sticker paper is on, because if you're printing on sticker paper and you put it in top side is the right side, you could be messing up if your printer doesn't print that way. So put in like a sample paper. Just use regular paper just to see which side your printer prints on, because you do not want to waste a sticker paper if you don't have to. So now you're getting ready to set up your printer. Make sure your printer's Bluetooth is ready. And then I'm doing system dialog. Just know that when you do want to print multiple sheets, you cannot use system dialog. It will not allow you to print multiple, and it will just be grayed out. But if you do want to print multiple, then you're going to want to don't click system dialog. If you are on the same Cricut page, it will keep saying prepare printing or preparing print, and you will never see the little window to set up the actual print for the printer. So you need to remember to move the Cricut screen out of the way so you can open the window to actually print. So now you can print, and here is my beautiful paper, my label that came out. Just make sure it has the little square arrows outside so that your Cricut can read what's inside of the paper or what's inside of the arrows, because whatever is inside the arrows Cricut will read and cut. So now I know that my little things are there. I have it set to vinyl right now because I'm using my vinyl paper, sticker paper, and I'm putting it on my sticker mat. And then I am pushing it down with the ruler or a squeegee, whatever you got. And then now it is ready to be loaded onto your Cricut machine. What you do next is you put your mat down, and you need to make sure that your mat is underneath the rollers and underneath these little things, these little white catcher things. And if it's not, it will spit out or it will take it sideways. So do check that, please. All right, so then you click the little arrows that are blinking, and this is a part where your Cricut is scanning and making sure it understands what is in the machine. And then once it's done scanning and making noise, your little monster might come up and see what's going on. This is Perry, little Paris. And then after it's done scanning, your press go button will blink. I feel like it reminds me of a Shrek button. But anyways, so your little Cricut C button will start glowing, blinking, whatever. And that means it's ready to be cut. So now you start cutting, and it'll start going around with this little blade, which is really exciting because honestly, the amount of hours I spent cutting is really sad. So it's nice to have a little machine do it, and I'll let you know when to unload the mat. And when you need to unload it, if it gets caught under the thing, click the blinking arrow again and it will spit it out so you can pull it. So don't rough it out. Click the little arrows and it'll come out smoothly if it says unload mat. Alright, so here I am excited about my sticker paper, and I noticed that it didn't cut right because it cut off some of my stuff. So now I have my sad little label that shows my thing being cut off. It is what it is, I guess. Just kidding, it's not is what it is. It will be fixed. Just know that can be fixed. Mainly the thing that I messed up with is I didn't correctly squeegee my paper down, so it cut weird because I already did the calibration, so it should know what areas I had to cut. So the fact that it didn't was because I didn't squeegee it down correctly. So just be aware of that. I tried doing cardstock plus when I was cutting at first, and I didn't really like it because it cut everything out, and I don't really want that. I want it to be the sheet to still be on the bottom, and I can peel it off like a sheet of stickers, not like individual ones. So now I have a whole bunch of squares floating around, but it still cut it, so I didn't have to, so that's nice. Alright, and another thing that can happen is if you have your setting too deep, you'll get your mat, or you'll notice that your mat will have deep cuts in it, so you don't want that either. So yeah, if you're using your Cricut and you're noticing that it's too deep and you can't adjust the pressure, because that's what you would want to do, is you would want it to make it lighter, because obviously it was cutting too hard, and when I used paper plus, it didn't cut hard enough, so I had to like start cutting it with scissors even though it had like a pre-cut, which I didn't like. Go to customize, and your screen will change all of a sudden, and now you can kind of type in what you want to use. I clicked all materials and I found construction paper, and my copy paper is 20 pounds, so I just clicked on that, And then I changed it to more because I knew that I wanted it to be cut further than it was being cut. So anyways, that is all the goodies that I learned from using a Cricut machine to cut my labels and to really just cut anything that you design. So I hope you learned how to use a Cricut, and if you also just needed ideas on how to make a label, let me know in the comments below if you need more help on how to use Cricut. Give me a thumbs up if this was helpful so I know to share more content in my small business journey as well, with more than just making my actual products, but how I do the backhand business things. Thanks for tuning in to UD Naturals, and I hope you join me again on the next video. Stay natural!
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.